Alright guys, the highlights from GreatStockPicks.com, live trading chat room, August 30th. Let's see, this is Thursday. I'm going to share with you a call I made today. It is absolutely one of my favorite setups and pretty good stuff as far as a low risk entry. And Coach, the purse maker today, met the parameters. Okay, so it looked like this. Nice volume. Okay, you see the big volume pop. Compare that with yesterday's opening 5-minute candle. You just don't see that. So we had big volume. This throws Coach on my radar. And it just rides up, rides up. I usually don't like to trade in the first 30 minutes. So all I know is I have a strong stock. If I pan out a little bit here, you can see it's there's not a lot in the way to the left here. So it's a strong stock with room to go. All right, and then what happens? You get this big, I call this a flush candle. You get this all of a sudden this big 5-minute candle. To me, great opportunity for a long, and I'll show you how we play it. But when it looked like this, I put it on the projector to show it to everybody. I said, hey, remember that 5's flush candle we talk about? You've got it here in Coach. Very strong, and then all of a sudden that big candle, and it comes right down to the 8-period moving average using 5-minute candles. All right, now how do we play it? Typically, when I see that, and I deem that it's one of those flush candles, I'll switch to 2-minute candles, which is what I've done here. Okay, so now you've got stair steps, I call them, and even kind of a doji type candle. What we're looking for now is the long on the first break of a previous 2-minute candle's high. So kind of as soon as it breaks a previous high here. Okay, so the high of this candle is 56.95. So the next candle, if it breaks this, 56.96 is the entry. Stop goes below this candle, 56.83. Now, like anything else, nothing works every time, but this met all the parameters. There's the trigger. And I mean, look at that. Within, these are 2-minute candles. So within, I don't know, 10 minutes from 56, whatever I said, 93. Let me double check that. 56.96, sorry. Within about 10 minutes, it's at 57.77. It did pull back, but did not come back to our buy area, or to our stop, I should say, and then goes even higher. One of the strongest stocks out there, actually, today. So from 56.96, basically, I think it hit 58, hit 57.99 on whatever I said the risk was. Sorry, 13 cents risk. Unbelievable. And that's one of my favorite types of setups. And then when you're looking at the whole day now, you can see how nice that was. There's that flush candle, and look at that immediate reversal back up, retest of the area, and back up again some more. That was had some members do really well on that one. And the gap storage, GPS. Now, normally you hear me say it in a lot of videos, I don't like to call high of day breaks, okay? But the gap store had a nice tight base up here. This is the one exception I'll make for calling a high of day break. You got a nice tight base, so when it finally breaks the high of the day, and this is also related to the daily chart, which I'll show you in just a second. Not just any high of day base break, right? But this is in breakout territory on the daily. And I'll show you that in just a minute. But over this base, it has room to run. You've got a nice battle between buyers and sellers here. So we jump in when the buyers win. Okay. My call on GPS was literally a break of this candle's high, 36.27, and I think I said about a dime stop. Actually, no, I didn't. This was the trigger candle, 36.27. The stop goes to 36.23. It was 4 cents risk. And no, not huge, but over the next, I don't know, 30 minutes, went all the way to 36.60. And, you know, as the market grinded lower throughout the day, but it doesn't matter. We teach our members to sell into spikes like this, not to let it come back down and say, oh, man, that would have been nice if I'd have sold up there. We always sell in parts. And whenever I always say, one of my favorite comments is never look a gift spike in the mouth. So when you take an entry here and you get this kind of shape in your favor, go back and look at a bunch of stock charts. You'll see it's not that often you get a stock to give this many green candles in a row. You get that, that's a gift. You take it, okay? Anyway, here it is on the daily. You can see that it's a little extended, but it was over this high from August 17th. We had a high of 36.23. So when we took it, it was over that high. So it certainly had room. And we were sellers as people were panic buying into that. So other than that, whoops, FSLR, I would love to tell you I'm a genius and we shorted this thing. I actually took 4 trades in this long maybe. Now it's a little embarrassing, yes, but made a bunch of money on First Solar today And I can't even look at this chart and tell you where now, but it's usually when you get you know, the big volume push and you get a little bit of a shape change. I think we took along somewhere in there. Now where scalpers went, and then back in here when you start to get that shape change again, we got a scalp in there somewhere, and usually based on 1 or 2 minute candles. So and then we also had some members take it on a what we call a wash and rinse below 20. This is one that I missed, but from there it got over 20.50. So this isn't something that you want to brag about. Okay, you don't want to look at First Solar and say, I made 3 trades in this today, all of them long, and did really well, because it makes you look like a fool. Because the obvious thing to do would have been to short this all the way down. Now, to be fair, I didn't even really notice First Solar until it probably looked like this. So at this point, you know, you feel kind of silly chasing short, but it still would have worked, right? Anyway, I've got to have a crystal clear candlestick formation, trigger and stop. So anyway, we were bottom fishing on it, and it really basically worked every time, especially for the people that did the wash and rinse below 20, a nice 60-cent move. But this was a stock to be making money short. So I guess in some ways I'm proud to say, hey, I made money taking bounces. But in another way, it doesn't make you look that bright when you were going long this 2 or 3 times. But it is a testament to the fact of how quickly we pay ourselves, especially when we're bottom feeding, and how quickly we tighten up the stop. Okay, so the fact that I went long on First Solar 3 different times and came out very green on it, at least tells you how defensive I trade, even though I was on the wrong side of that trade looking at that candle today. This will be on Bounce Watch tomorrow, by the way, but wow, what a sell out there. And I think that was all my calls for the day. Looking at my notes here. Oh, SRPT, 1 call in that and 1 call in NFX. I actually called a late day short in NFX because it was getting ahead of itself here at 31.70. And I almost never call a short. But you can see I didn't have much time left in the day, and I only got a nickel out of that one. So, all right, I'm not going to babble any further. We will put out a video tomorrow. Be careful if you're trading tomorrow. Bernanke speaks at 10, and I expect some craziness, but at the same time, the trader in me welcomes some craziness because we might get some nice trades out of it. All right, have a good night.